Hey guys, Rodeo WN here. Just a quick update on how things are going on the Helicarrier and the rail system that we're trying to incorporate to allow docking of Quinjets on the landing bays, and it's an automatic system that we've incorporated so far. Down there on the wing of the Quinjet is my friend Soul, who's kindly going to help me with this demonstration. There he is. Right, I'll move away and let him jump in the Quinjet and activate it and bring it out onto the thing. We've put a button behind each Quinjet on the ground so that they can launch into the automatic system, as you can see, and then he can climb into the jet as it comes out. It turns automatically. I've got crossovers in these rails, which took some working out to do, but I managed to do it. And oh dear, look at this. The blast doors are in the way because there's a jet already waiting to take off. There's going to be a major disaster. Or maybe not. Maybe we've put safety systems in place to stop that from happening. And as you can see, the Quinjet has come to a halt. So now Soul is whizzing along to the first jet, which is due to take off, and he gets the all clear for takeoff, and he can go into flight mode and take off. And there he is, and he launches. 20 seconds later, the blast doors will shut, which then allows the second Quinjet to automatically move into position for takeoff. Now, what I'm going to ask Soul to do is whiz along to the one that's just moving into position for launch and take off with that one as well. Here you can see the blast doors automatically come up, ready to stop the jet blast from hitting anybody, so that when he goes into launch, which he's about to do now, there we go, he's launched. Whoa, that's another Quinjet going off into space. And you will see the blast doors will automatically close. Now, looking back down there, you can see that we've got one empty bay, and we've got one bay with a Quinjet in it. Now, if I ask Soul to land a Quinjet on the centre line of the runway, which is the white line up the middle, there is a rail next to it, and if he lands it on that, it will automatically come in for a docking, one of the docking bays. He uses the docking beam and docks it. He can now jump out of that and let it dock itself automatically. There's no need for him to be in it, it will automatically find its own place to dock. It'll come along the rail until it finds the first empty bay. As you can see here, there is a rotator now showing in the rail, which will put it into the empty bay. Any bays that have a jet in them, the rail will just go straight past them. So the first empty bay available, the Quinjet will actually go into. Now at this point, we ought to get another Quinjet docking on the rail as well, and we'll see what happens when the bays are full and a Quinjet docks. There's this one going in for an automatic docking. And you can see there's another jet landing in the distance there. And that one is docked in position. While the other jet's moving in to come along, I will just point out that at the end of this runway where that comes in, the end of this rail, you'll now see that the rail is straight at the junction. So there's no way that the plane that's coming down the rail now can actually go into the bay that's occupied. Over here at the back of the Quinjet, we have a button on the floor which is the launch button, so you can press that button when you want to take the Quinjet out and it'll automatically go out on its own. Now the Quinjet that's going down the rail, you will notice, is going to keep going until it gets to the next one. But again, it's already occupied, so there'll be nowhere for it to go. So this system is infinitely expandable to however many bays I want. But on the end one, I've got a loop round, as you can see, which will then take the jet back out to the launch position, so it'll be ready for launch. Now, there's one issue with docking in bays like this, and that was something that came to me when we were testing it before, that Soul took off from the docking bay without actually running out on the rails. So I'm going to ask you to do that again, please, Soul, to just take off from where you are there without actually undocking it. Just get into the plane and undock and fly off without actually going along the rails, if you know what I mean. There we go, he's taken off. Now, the problem with that is that would have left the bay as being still occupied because of the way that the rail system works. But I've managed to make it so that it does register. Oops, I've jumped out of the call that I was in. I've managed to make it so that it does register that it is a bay that is free when somebody undocks from it. But if you look down there, you can see that there is a rotator on the rail just under the front of the Quinjet that Soul is in. So that will allow a and he's dogged it again and he's in position. And just for the end, you'll see the blast doors come up automatically when the plane gets into launch position. I've got them coming up at slightly different speeds to make it look more human and natural. So there you go, that's where we're at with this logic at the moment on the rails. So just thought you'd all enjoy seeing that. Thanks for that, Soul.
No problem.